Okay, I'm kind of shaking right now because what you're about to see and hear is probably the most astounding discovery ever made in the history of science. And unfortunately only about 100 people view my videos at a time, so will it ever get out? I don't know. I did a paper the other day, a little video on this park bench, and I kind of gave an explanation as to why there was a double helix mark left on there. I didn't really give a full explanation because I really wasn't sure what was going on. I knew it was the rotation of the energy causing the wind to deposit the matter, but I didn't know why it was hollow in the center. Today we're going to find out why. Today I am going to show, it's quite the list. I'm going to show all energy travel is a double helix. That all radiation domes, the energy spins in a double helix and comes back in on itself, so that the energy goes out and it comes back in. I'm going to show what the bubbles are at the heliosphere are. I'm going to show lightning travel and tornadoes. This literally links every single thing I have done. And I know I've said that about many of my videos, but that's the most incredible thing about knowing how energy travels. It just leads to more discoveries. So I think this is a culmination here, because this is a radiation travel that I'm about to show. If the word eureka is known to you, that's what was screaming in my head. I really don't know what to say. This dwarfs anything ever discovered, because this is how all energy travels. It's going to prove that my atom construction is correct, of energy moves matter, and it points to why my atom is, or every atom is 99.999% nothing. It's because it is a waveform as I have drawn, and the energy is 0.0001% of the whole sphere tornado that it does. So I hope I'm not boring anybody, but yeah, this is going to be fantastic. Right, I'm going to put up two little videos here. I burnt some garbage, then I made these two videos, and after that I'm going to fully explain on one piece of paper how all energy travels, why the planets are hollow, what a Z pinch point is for matter accumulation of planets and suns. Yeah, here we go then. Here's the two videos that are basically, by observational evidence and science explanation, that this is the most important discovery that's ever been made. Here we go. Okay, so this is in my garden. This is where I burn garbage, and I did it about an hour ago, not for any particular reason, just to burn garbage, but it turns out to be very, very interesting. I think I'm right down here, and I don't know how much you can see, but you see all the pieces. Over here, I don't know if there's enough light to see that. All the edges leading to it. As you can see, also there's many boundary layers there. But basically this is energy coming out of the machine, the burner. But the thing I wanted you to see was what's on the floor here. Can you see it? Is there enough light? I don't know. But do you see all the straight lines that fan out?
because they're perfectly visible to me. But they found out there's millions and billions of them, straight lines all out. So this again goes with my prediction that I showed the other day with plants growing. It forms a torus bubble on top and the energy streams out in straight lines, because that would have had a bubble around it which extended out to here all the way over, and the bubble has come up obviously at an angle, and that side too. And here we have all the straight lines of energy which have stripped a lot of the snow in places. Thicker ones, thinner ones, because energy is fractal. And when it shoots out in straight lines in a dome, this is exactly what it does. And if this was just heat coming out, you would expect this to be flat and rounded. But it's not. Because the energy from here was trying to get back in, reflected back. So it pulls the matter with it. Otherwise, I'm what, 2 inches away from it here? Otherwise this would all be melted. It climbed back up because of the energy emanating out of the snow, which melted the tips, but they grew upwards. Because energy attracts matter, matter conforms to energy, and energy moves matter. And as the energy shrank back in to the burner here, it pulled the matter with it. Thanks very much. My name's Lee, and I'm a Christian. Okay, I'm out here at night, and I just thought of this. This is my burner that I showed you earlier, and this is the marks that it made. You see that double helix mark right there of the waves going in and out. Bring that back in again. That is a double helix wave pattern, the same as I showed on the park bench the other day. See it? All the way across, going down to minuscule. There's all the way up there as well. Those are the straight lines I was telling you about, but they're actually double helix waves. Cool.
Okay, so here we go. It's going to take a little bit while to explain, but this dome, bubble, sphere explains literally the whole universe by radiation travel. So okay, what we're going to start with first is radiation energy law. Down there on the bottom left, and it says radiant energy diminishes inversely via the square of the distance. I learned that about 20 years ago, and I knew it'd come in handy one day. It's the only thing I really remember from being a gas and oil technician. What that means is, if you're 4 feet away from a fire and you step half the distance, 2 feet closer, the energy will double. The heat is twice as hot. Then the last 2 feet that's left, if you step half that distance, so you're 1 foot away now, it is now 4 times as hot. And you keep halving the distance as you get closer. So 1 foot becomes 6 inches, 6 inches becomes 3, 1.5, 0.75. And the energy doubles. So it'll go 2, 4, 6, 8 times hotter, 16 times hotter, 32, the closer you get. Because the distance, the energy diminishes inversely via the square of the distance. That's what it means, and that's what those circles are. That's why you've got 1, 2, 4. We're 8 centimeters from center to outside, and then I've put a circle at 4 centimeters, 2 centimeters, 1 centimeter, 0.5, 0.25, and then etc. after that. I've put to infinity, but it doesn't really, because it always has a boundary, but it's literally connected to everything else. So that's what those bubbles mean. This is a bubble of energy that I have separated inversely via the square of the distance into circles, and then I have put circles inside those because each bubble also then divides by the inverse square law. So that if you look down at the bottom left there where it says same size top and side, those are the energy bubbles and the energy travel, and it runs around the outside of the boundary. Now, first off, the energy travels straight through all the way to the edge, but it extends outwards. If you look at the picture on the bottom right there, it expands outwards the same as the next layer, from the center out and then round, and then there's another rotation, center out and round, X and Y direction spin. So what you end up with, if we go back to the same size top and side pictures, you get a double helix of energy that moves matter to the boundary and leaves a void in the center, as seen by this picture. So the picture in the top right is the park bench, which left a void in the center. Now if we look at the main picture from the nighttime video, you will see that there is a hole, then a lump, then a hole, then a lump, then a hole, then a lump. Now why would that be? Okay, let's go back to the picture. Okay, if we look at those same size circles going from the center to the left, that would be west, I guess, you will see that, imagine that's the top of the snow. So the energy is going up and over, up and over, up and over, up and over. So it will take a divot, leave a divot, take a divot, leave a divot, as seen by the picture. So that, by observational evidence and my theory of energy travel, that's correct. And also the fact that it leaves a void in the center also proves, because this is how energy travels, that the Earth is hollow in the center, because that's where the energy is. I know there's a great big load of fat bubbles in the center there, but energy is spinning matter to the outside. So then those bubbles would be forced outwards by one void in the center, which is full of energy pushing outwards in the Fibonacci sequence in every direction. So the very center of this planet is hollow, and so are suns and every other sphere of matter in the universe, because I've just proven it on screen and with observational evidence. So yeah, the Earth has got a hollow center. Okay, next we're going to move on to the top right hand of the screen, and you will see there that I have put lots of circles and bubbles, because each bubble also then divides by inverse square law. So as we've seen, these bubbles increase as they go out by the inverse square law. So what have I got going on there? Okay, well, I've got your straight lines through the middle on the around about 1 o'clock on the disc there, and you can see I've drawn straight lines through the center of all the spheres. That's because that's the first place the energy goes, then it radiates outwards into the bubble. That is lightning. That's how it works. That's how plants work. I showed that the other day. It splits into two, splits into two, splits into two, and these are all spheres. The energy forms a sphere. So the bubbles at the heliosphere, that's because of radiation travel that I have fully explained right here. Lightning, that's because it's going through the center, and I've fully explained it right here. That's how all trees grow. I have fully explained it right here. And at the end of all those tree branches and bubbles and what have you is a funnel that links to the entire bubble, which then becomes a diatom, which I've already explained on video. So that's all lightning fully explained, and that is the bubbles at the heliosphere fully explained. And now I'm going to go to a Z pinch point, which is matter accumulation. Now, throughout the universe, we see twists in matter as shown by the Thunderbolts project. Okay, so I do believe this should help the Thunderbolts project along quite a bit. Okay, so what you've got right there is the Planetary Nebula M29, concentric cylinders of filamentary Z-pinch with a stellar pinch and double layers. This is the out and return of a double helix, where the double layers, because it's attached at the funnel end, and it comes back through on itself and forms a double layer. Now, why is that stellar Z-pinch right there? Well, we go back to my drawing there and it says Z-pinch. As you can see, as the bubbles go out, you can take the west view or the east view there of the bubbles. You can take the west view as, okay, it's going to be the same thickness, and that would be those same 1 centimeter bubbles all the way across. We could show that as being nebula M29 there, so let's just take it as that. But if we look on the other side, I've got written Z-pinch because all the matter is flung to the boundary. But because it's in a bigger dome of energy, a bigger sphere of energy, where the matter is spun into the next field line, it twists. The matter accumulates right there. You can see it on this picture too of the park bench. And if you look at where the X's cross, you will see a lump of matter. So there we go. A Z-pinch point happens at a boundary point, and the matter is literally funneled there by Birkeland Currents, which is what double helix energy flow is. So yeah, all matter is moved to the boundary, which is also the electromagnetic field boundary, field line, and that's where you get a Z-pinch. So that should also help with astronomy and cosmology now as well, because I've just explained where stars are, because this is how energy travels, proven by the video I showed. And I'd actually just like to mention at this point, because I meant to draw this twice, that is a side view and a top view at the same time. If we took a side view, which we're looking at, and then we looked at the top view, it would look exactly the same because everything is running perpendicular to the next waveband. Okay, I think that's about it for now. That's all I can think of right now. But basically, because of the observations made of the ground and the theory that I had in place, this explains all life, all growth, absolutely everything. This confirms that everything I have said about double helix energy flow and how it works and how it grows everything is absolutely correct. And that's about it. So there we have it. Nobel Prize material. Everybody keeps asking me when I'm getting one. I don't know. You tell me. I don't care for men's awards, but this is the most unbelievable discovery that's ever been made. And it confirms everything I've ever said. And this double helix of energy is coming from God's hand in Habakkuk 3:4. 2 rays, 2 horns, 2 lightning bolts coming from his hand, and this is where the hiding of his power is. So I can say this with absolute full confidence now, people. God done it. I'm just absolutely gobsmacked. I think I can rest now. Thank you very much. With the guidance of God and visions from God and directions from God, and basically trusting him from the very beginning, not knowing where this was going to go, God has shown how all energy travels, how all life is built through me, and it's coming from his hand. Get saved, get baptized into Jesus, because this was the Christian God who showed me all this, because that's where I found all the information. If you want to have a look in the Bible, you will find God holding out his hand everywhere, and everything is affected when he does. So the power's coming out of his hand. It's also coming out of his innermost parts in Ezekiel 47:9 with a double-sized torrent of life, which is energy, which is electricity, coming from his innermost parts, giving life to everything. So please, this revelation, all revelations happen because something else is about to happen. I've said before that after reading the Bible so much, I can associate with every single man in the Bible, and this feels like being John the Baptist. The true light is about to come into the universe because I have revealed who he is. I have shown how he works, and there is no mistake, and I am fully correct by observational evidence and scientific explanation. My name is Lee, and I'm a Christian.